And I'm live. It's the Nazarite, bringing you Hebrew lore from days of yore. So, first of all, I passed 100 subscribers, which is great, quite a milestone. Thank you to each and every one of you, especially you guys who joined recently and pushed me over that 100 mark. And to mark this occasion, which did way back when I started it, I said when I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a short Q&A. I still don't know when that's going to be done, but I think it will be done in the next week or two. One of these Tuesday sessions will be a Q&A, which I will do live. But if any of you miss it, there may be others. I don't know. All right. So that was that. And now, this Tuesday in the story of creation in Genesis. Hang on, let me see that I'm okay. In Genesis, in the story of creation, after each day, right, God saw that it was good, except for Monday. There was no God saw that it was good. There were two of them on Tuesday. Tuesday was a double helping of the Lord seeing that it was good. And a very basic explanation of this is that Sunday is one, which is without an equal. Monday is division, where it becomes two. And so there is not less of a blessing there, but there was division in creation. And Tuesday, where it says it twice, because Tuesday is the third day and it yields something new. This is very much akin to the idea of past, present, and future, or the idea that a thought, it's up there in the ether of nothingness, and then inspiration hits, and then you go with it. It's like this law of three. The idea of the law of three is a very big one, and I wouldn't even know where to attack it from right now off the top of my head. Comedy comes in threes, so I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is talk about how Tuesday being a complete thing, as in a man and a woman yield a child and bring something new into creation. And the past, present, and future, where one leads into the other, well, no, I won't go there, that the whole time thing. It's another dimension, right? God saw that it was good on Tuesday. It's a day where if I'm not mistaken, it was that there was grass. Wait, let me look that up very, very quickly. I think it was the grass. No. Yeah, there was on the third day, it was the grass, right? It was the earth, the land. In this week's Torah portion and the last one, and in different places, in the Bible, it mentions how much the land is important. And I don't think it's by accident that the day where nature appeared in a more physical sense of grass on the earth, which is ready to bear, fruit and yield crops and whatever, that there was the double. Wait, let's see where exactly the double was. There was one where there is the earth or the land and then the grass, which had trees. So, right, nature, things bearing fruit. Again, it's the third Tuesday is, right, we said man, woman, and then they bear fruit. It's like Tuesday is when things come together and you can move on to bigger and better things, I suppose. It's difficult to explain with kind of one, sweeping motion. But it's like, I'll give the example of the thought. So, like I said earlier, where in the beginning it's in the ether of nothingness, and then it's like asking, where does inspiration come from? We don't know. All we know is we get inspired. So you don't know that there's the nothingness and then the inspiration, and then you take it one step further in your mind and already, take action, speak, do whatever you need to do, following that thought. Starts from nothingness, becomes, and progresses through you. And nature and creation progressed through this Tuesday. In the beginning, the land and the sea were set apart, and then on the land, there came something new. There was land at the bottom of the sea as well. It was land. It says, and the land will be seen, meaning it was there. but it didn't come to its full potential, I suppose, until well, not even until Tuesday. I'll get into that right now. Where on Tuesday, God said it will be a tree of fruit bearing fruit. A tree of fruit bearing fruit. Esprit ou seprit. Later on, when it says what happened, it says that the earth yielded a tree bearing fruit, not a tree fruit bearing fruit. There's behind this verse and the lack of that other fruit is the idea that in the beginning, the entirety of the tree should have tasted like the final product. But because the land also sinned, which is why I said that on Tuesday, it still did not reach its full potential. The full potential would be to do what God said, a tree fruit bearing fruit, not a tree bearing fruit or a fruit bearing tree. So when the earth actually put forth the tree, it wasn't the way that God said it. What the Torah is telling us there is that even the land itself had missed the mark, had sinned, had not done God's will. We come from the land. Man, Adam, Adama, I mentioned that last week. The bond between man and earth is great. We came from the earth, we go back to the earth. And so for the earth to sin first before mankind was created in that first pass, in the first story of creation in Genesis, we then came from it in body and were, what would it be, imbibed or not imbibed? We were, anyway, filled with the Spirit of the Lord, the living soul, the living spirit. But that animal part of us that came from the earth had already known sin, had already known not doing God's will, something like that. So even on Tuesday, it wasn't at its full potential. The full potential will be later on when the world to come, the Sabbath that never happened, a lot of things in creation that didn't go exactly right. And that's what we're doing here for 6,000 years, metaphorically speaking, or figuratively, working through those little kinks, the earth, the land, the Sabbath, the man, bringing them together. So on the second day, there was no God saw that it was good, because that's division. But, there's one indivisible, there's two which are divided, but that can come together and yield the third. I think there's a great teaching here. There really is. And I'm not the first one to utter it. But the idea of Tuesday also being a kind of middle where you have the left, the right, and the middle. It's a progression of a different sort, kind of an inverted triangle. The Kabbalistic way of looking at it is a line of, let's say, kindness, a line of judgment, and a line of truth and of love running through it, giving balance. So when Tuesday arrived, it gave balance because it was the Lord saw that it was good. He saw it twice. But still, even though it was so good, the land still has a lesson to learn, which is also why the land has its Sabbath. The man, the land, the original Sabbath. There's a lot here. There's a lot here. I'll talk about one more thing, and then I think I'll call it a day. So these days between Passover and Shavuot, or Pentecost, are 50 days where we count every single day. We count 49 days. The 50th day is the actual holiday of Pentecost, of Shavuot, where the Torah was given. The people of Israel waited for 50 days between leaving Egypt and between receiving the Torah at Mount Sinai. If it was so important, why didn't he give it to them just then and there? You're out of there? Good. Here it is. Go all this, do that, as Bill Burr says. Louis C.K. All this, do that. But no, 50 days. 50 days where there was a kind of cleanliness that was brought upon them. You can achieve a lot in 50 days. The idea behind counting each and every day, it's this many weeks and this many days. Today is, today is, 32? And it's the idea that every day there's a different vibe in the world, a different energy, a different divine revelation, a different emanation. And if you can tune in on that, not, absolutely, wholly, entirely different, it goes along with the seconds and the minutes and where the earth and the sun and the stars are, things of that nature, of how we see reality. That's how we receive the divine revelation. And to count every day is to say, this day, today is an opportunity for something new. Now, sure, this is, the same self-help stuff that I'm into. It's a little different because you can see a clear purpose. When we count it these days, this is a commandment from the Torah, count 50 days from Passover to the time of Shavuot, of Pentecost, which is, well, never mind. And take each day, acknowledge it for its uniqueness, for its own divine energy. Okay. Every day offers us an opportunity to partake in something new. You could use it to discover something new, to reopen an old channel that was blocked up. Think of them as currents of energy, the different chakras, the different sphirot of the tree of life, however you want to look at it. There are things in which you are blocked, and they are manifested, the material side of you and the spiritual side of you, in a way. It's manifested in these 49 days, where on the 50th day, if you'd worked on yourself properly, and to some degree even if you didn't, because it's all of Yisrael counting together, then you are then allowed to receive the Torah again. Allowed. You have the privilege and the honor and the delight of rediscovering, of re-accepting the Torah, the covenant. They say that the assembly on Mount Sinai was like a wedding, like a marriage, where the Most High was the groom and the people of Israel were the bride, and they exchanged their vows. And in these 50 days, it's something very special. I don't take full advantage of it, and I haven't done it for years. So I want to make that clear. There were times when I was more into it. These days, in the recent years, I'm not good with the counting, even though it's a commandment from the Torah. I'm not good with it. I forget. It's not negligible to me, but I should make more of an effort, because you want to acknowledge the fact that it's a new day, that the sun has gone down and it starts in darkness, but that's a new day and light will come, because the Hebrew day starts at night of the previous sunset. Let's all have a wonderful Tuesday, a great middle of the week. May we see that it is good twice. And, oh, thank you again. 100 subscribers is not a small thing. I really appreciate the time that you put in watching my videos and commenting, and the fact that you're even subscribing. It's a wonderful thing. And I love engaging with you guys, people who've been in touch with me on Facebook and here. It's wonderful, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day. God bless.